Yeah. What up? All right. We got another one from Norm Macdonald.
Okay. Rest in peace. Great Norm. What we got?
This is the Swedish German joke.
Okay. The Swedes and the Germans.
Yeah.
Norm gave you a joke. Yeah, it's gonna be great. You ready?
Yep.
He's good, man.
That's a can-do, Norm.
You came charging out like
Yeah,
that.
because people, look at this audience, man. They don't care about that. Why? I like jokes. They got flags. They got flags.
Yeah, they got flags and they're scoring you. You've got 3 9s and an 8 so far.
Wow.
For your
Where are you
entrance.
guys from, man? Oh, sweet. That's Sweden?
Yeah.
God bless you, man. Everything's good about, you're an Irishman. My mother, she was orange. My father, he was green. It was the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German. Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, 'cause
It's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German.
No, I tell you why it's funny, man. Because I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I met a good old boy down there, and he said, He said, you know Andy Richter?
Yeah. Yeah. He did?
Yeah.
You met a guy in Georgia and he said, you know Andy Richter?
Oh, yeah, you do guys do well there.
Oh.
And he said, I said, yeah. He said, you ever heard of Andy Richter joke? I said, no. He said, well, most of it's based on him being Swedish German. And then he told me an Andy Richter joke. And
Really?
But I didn't know he was Swedish. I thought that was all nonsense.
Yeah, well, now this lines up perfectly. Let me ask you something, because it sort of relates to the first...
Wait, don't you want to hear the joke?
No.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Oh, you're down to
There's
6.
6.
You're down to 6. All right, this joke will get you back up.
You can get him back.
Let's hear the joke.
Well, the fella says, he says, you ever hear the time about the old prospector? That's how he talks,
Yeah.
He says, man, there was no prospector, and he was prospecting for gold, and he was having a hell of a time getting any gold. It was an empty stake, I believe. And he said he'd come into town one day. He'd been in the mine for a good 8 months. He said, by God, he said, I'm only flesh and blood. Sure. And I need a woman, And so he goes into town. He goes up to the bartender. He says, bartender, he says, man, I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German. The prospector, he says, no, he says, hell, I ain't into that funny stuff, He says, I'll be fine. So he goes back to his state, and he's back in that mine, man, and 6 months passes, and a year passes, and Conan, people are weak. Man is made of flesh and pride, as the scriptures tell us, and by God, that old prospector finally broke to his knees and he said, I'm no worse than he went back to the bar. He was a beaten man. He says to the bartender, he says, hell, man, I've been in that place 2.5 years. A man has needs, and if you say there's no women in this here town, he says, well, I'll have to go for Andy Richter, the Swedish German. But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. This is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
He says, I got my cowpoke friends and so forth. I'd hate to hell anybody know about this. This got to be all secret. Nobody. I say, nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people know about it. How do you figure that? He says, well, he says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Why?
Why? Because Andy Richter, the Swedish German, he don't go for that funny business neither.
Well, at least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
That was a nice.
you weren't gay.
Right. But that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
I would no. It's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself.
Yeah, man. Another one from the great Norm. Yeah, man.
They had to hold Andy down. He said, I like how that story ended. At least I didn't want to be there.
Give me a little bit of dignity. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Norm was one of the greatest joke writers, gotta be. They just inserted his name.
That's all he did. Just inserted Andy Richter's and Swedish German. The Swedish German joke. That could have been anybody's joke. That could have been the Irish joke. That could have been anybody's joke.
Oh, man. Yeah, man.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Conan and Norm, man. What a great duo.
Was a pretty good duo. They had good chemistry. They had good chemistry.
Absolutely.
From all the times we've seen them together. You know what I'm saying? I think Norm is, one of the few people we've seen him to make, Conan laughs at everybody.
Right.
So never mind.
Right. But, I mean, definitely, you see every joke that he has on Conan is, hey, it's the best joke by far. I've heard. I don't think nobody, other comedian has ever probably done a better joke than Conan. Done a better joke than Norm on Conan.
I'd agree.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
Rest in peace, man. One of the greatest.
Yeah.